Now, fugitive diamantaire Nirav Modi has filed an application before the London High Court for permission to appeal against his extradition to India in the country's Supreme Court. Now, earlier on the 9th of November, the High Court in London had cleared the path for his extradition to India. We are given to understand that the 51-year-old lost an appeal on mental health grounds earlier this month, of course, when a two-judge High Court bench ruled that his risk of suicide was not such that it would be either unjust or oppressive to extradite him to India to face charges of fraud and money laundering in the estimated $2 billion Punjab National Bank loan scam case. Shravan Sen joining us on the phone line right now. Shravan, good morning. Shravan, we are now learning that Nirav Modi has filed an application in the High Court in London seeking permission to appeal against extradition that has been that went against him in the High Court in the Supreme Court. Tell us more, please.
And in fact, Nupurti, this is part of the legal recourse that Nirav Modi has at this point in time. Remember, the UK High Court had rejected the appeal that he had filed against the extradition order that was passed by the Westminster Magistrates Court. Now, it turns out that for him to be able to apply before the UK Supreme Court, he has to take the permission of the UK High Court. In fact, he has now made the appeal within the 14 days stipulated time. It remains to be seen whether at all the UK High Court will grant him the permission to further make an appeal before the UK Supreme Court. Now, what's important to point out here is that as per the extradition process, now this is exactly the legal recourse that he has, but this is the final stage, if I may say so, in the extradition process, given the fact that he has witnessed the same thing in Vijay Mallya's case. But what is even more important to point out here is that the news break by Republic just about a couple of days ago, soon after the UK High Court's order that was passed, was the fact that Nirav Modi has already applied for political asylum, and that is exactly why things could get again delayed, just the way it has in the case of Vijay Mallya. Because remember, as far as the courts are concerned in the United Kingdom, they were essentially convinced by the argument that was put forth by the Crown Prosecution Service representing the Indian Investigative Agency that this is a fit case for extradition. As far as Nirav Modi is concerned, it was a one step ahead of in the Vijay Mallya case, because remember, from the time that he has been arrested, he hasn't been granted bail by the UK courts simply because they believe that one, if granted bail, he could have turned out to become a flight risk. Secondly, they are also convinced about the fact that this basically fits the case of money laundering, and he should face justice.
All right, Shravan Sen reporting on that. Thank you very much for joining us. So, Shravan taking us through the latest that we are getting on this case.